Let's move over to our second guest, a trumpeter at the Philadelphia Orchestra by the name of Roger Blackburn. I want you to hear this, and we'll meet Roger right after this. Watch. Roger Blackburn, trumpeter with the Philadelphia Orchestra. Roger, good to have you here. Now, 10 years ago, you made the orchestra on your first try.
That's right.
And you're at the Haddonfield United Methodist Church.
Mm-hmm.
What's different about you as an artist in reflection of your faith in what you do?
Well, I think that I have a lot more opportunities to create as an orchestra member, because when we're playing in the orchestra, we don't create a lot. The music is there on the stand for us to perform, and the conductor interprets it the way he feels it, and we're limited to what we can do. But as a Christian person, I go out and play in churches on a lot of occasions, and I enjoy the freedom that I have. I do a lot of arranging of my own solos for myself and kind of customize it and do what I can do best for the glory of God through my artistry on the trumpet. And
you can express yourself more as a soloist.
Right, as a soloist, yes. That's the freedom.
Sharon, you're the soloist. You also can get into it more and innovate, create. Well, why do you all do this? Let me go back to you for a moment, Roger. Why this path? Why are you doing this?
Well, I feel as a person that's been given this gift from God that I have to develop it as best I can for myself and to share it with others. That's the whole purpose of our existence, I think, is to share what the Lord has given us and to hopefully express, His love through our art to others.
You're both identifying your art as a gift from God. And you've decided to use this in your faith. But not everybody decides this. Why did you decide to do it, what you're doing? Do you know? Did someone lead the path for you? Or?
Well, it's because the gift is so special. And for me, it was that I came down to where it was so overwhelming compared to the rest of the things and talents in my life that I felt drawn toward singing. And then with it being from God, and I prayed a lot and thought about it and started that way, and it just seemed like the doors started opening, and I felt that this is what I needed to do, and I've been very enriched by my decision.
Now you're nodding as though that's close to what you've done, or?
Well, yes. I grew up in a Methodist preacher's home, and right from the very beginning we were taught that God has a purpose for every life, and that we have to find that purpose early in life and develop it. And ever since I can remember, I sang and performed in the church, and very early in my life I found my love for the trumpet, and just worked at it very diligently through the years, the early years that count on an instrument. You've got to do it right in the formative years, otherwise you get off, and do the wrong thing.
All right, now we have tapes of both of you. We're going to watch you sing. I'd be interested in giving us a chance to watch you sing, and then I'd like to understand what it is that you're trying to impart beyond the hymn that you're going to sing. What is the hymn's title?
The hymn is O Rest in the Lord, and it's from the oratorio Elijah.
All right. Well, let's watch you sing it, Sharon, and then I want to see you pull something out of it for us to understand. Shall we do that?
Okay.
Here we are with Sharon Einstein.
Rest in the Lord, wait patiently for Him, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires. Oh, rest in the Lord, wait patiently for Him, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires. Commit thy way unto Him, and trust in Him. Commit thy way unto Him, and trust in Him, and fret not thyself because of evildoers. Oh, rest in the Lord, wait patiently for Him, wait patiently for Him. Oh, rest in the Lord, wait patiently for Him, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires, and He shall give thee thy heart's desires. Oh, rest in the Lord, oh, rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for Him.
Now, watching yourself sing, and pitch in if you'd like to also on this, Roger, what were you trying to get across as a Christian? What's different about that?
Well, for one thing, this is a scripture that we were raised with at home. I came from a very religious family, and it's something that has been a very elemental scripture in my life. And it's just the rock of God, and it's something that I feel that because of the talent God has given me, that when I sing it, He blesses and makes it special.
Where were you reared?
I was reared in York, Pennsylvania, in the Church of the Nazarene.
And you're not going to say, but I've got to add that you were Miss York, Pennsylvania in 1977.
1977,
All right.
yes.
You didn't ever make it, Roger. Sorry about that, all right? So this was something you remembered from the way you were brought up.
Yes, yes.
So it's got a personal value to you.
Personal value, and it's meant a lot to me during my training and during my years. with the talent and the...
It is a struggle.
It's a struggle. It's a blessing, but you work hard and sometimes you struggle.
And you've been doing what at the Curtis Institute? Do you have...
Studying 4 years very diligently for operatic performance.
And you've got some prayer groups going there?
We started a prayer group 2 years ago. Yes, we did, and it's kept going and it's growing also in number.
All right.
Yes.
That's one of the themes I was interested in, and I'm glad you mentioned the sense of the struggling artist. It's not easy to get to be as good as you all are. You make it look easy. In terms of your struggle to get where you are, what role did your faith play?
Well, I always had a feeling that my family was praying for me and that I would stay in the Lord's will. Every time there was an audition that came up, I would pray that it was the Lord's will for me to, whatever He wanted, would happen. If He would have wanted me to win this audition. I failed the first 3 auditions I took for orchestras. I was about ready to give up the orchestral life. I auditioned in Buffalo, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh symphonies.
You figured that there was a commentary about your music from on high? Is that...
I was about ready to give it up, but somehow the Lord knew that it was for me, and He just maybe was testing me to help strengthen me to try harder, and somehow I had the right moment. Zubin Mehta was the one that gave me my first break, and I went to the Israel Philharmonic and played 1.5 years in Tel Aviv, and that was a great experience for me because to work with non-Christians and find that there was a rapport that we did have through music, and I was able to communicate with them, and it was a great feeling to be able to work with these professionals.
Well, let's watch you play. What are we going to watch?
This is an arrangement I did for myself off of an arrangement that was originally for 2 vocalists. It's an unusual thing to find trumpet solos arranged like this in the bookstores, the Bible bookstores. They tend to arrange for the high school level player and sell those kind of material, but for a symphony player, we like a little more challenge. So I took this beautiful accompaniment that was done by a professional arranger, and I put a trumpet part to it. So this is an arrangement of Rise Up, O Men of God.
Fascinating. Let's watch it. Here we go. You know, it's exhilarating is not only seeing and hearing it, but the story that you add to it, that you brought it up to a higher level of expertise, and you made it seem so effortless.
Well, it's part of the art of knowing what you're able to do and what's possible on the instrument, and this is the challenge for me as I go out and play these church-type performances. I want to find material that's relative to church music and yet that shows my abilities to their best advantage.
And brings out something in the listener that...
Right. It's more inspired, I think, when it's brought to a higher level of artistic achievement.
Well, for a last comment for each of you, what do you think has been the major hurdle that you've had to overcome And in fact, where have you been helped the most by your faith? Go ahead, Sharon, just a last comment.
Probably just in the everyday struggles that you meet each day as an artist. Every day it changes, every day it's different, something else that you don't expect that you come into contact with and you have to make it over. And every day I just commit it again to God.
What is the most difficult mental state that you get into as an artist? What's the worst part? Just
I guess everybody hates when the depressions hit, the low points.
The
when
blues.
The blues.
All right.
When you feel that something didn't quite go the way you wanted it to go.
and you'd like to do it again.
And you'd like to do it again.
All right. Roger, how about you?
Well, I feel like priorities are the key part to the Christian person's outlook on life. In the orchestra, we're expected to, give our maximum efforts when we're on the job there. But a lot of times, a lot of those players I found give more than what they should. I feel like the Bible sets up the priorities for our lives. God should be first in our life, whatever He wants us to do, and our families deserve the second place, and then the job deserves third place. It's hard to keep those priorities in that line. I know that there are times when I feel like I have to practice extra time to prepare my part for the orchestra, and it means giving up playing with my daughter and things like this, but those are the key things that I have to keep in mind all the time.
So you keep your faith and you keep a perspective at the same
Right.
time. You've been excellent guests.
Thank
You've
you.
gotten us off to a fine start.
Thank you.